What's good, family? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, because trust me, you do not want to miss this one. It's that time again, and yes, we got to talk. In the last drop, I asked the million-dollar question that everybody's whispering about, but nobody can answer straight. How many court dates does Tiffany Henyard really have on the calendar right now? Because let's be real, this lady is moving around like it's summer vacation in Cancun. Like lawsuits, subpoenas, and federal investigators don't even exist in her universe. And I know y'all saw it, the footage out of Atlanta.
Tiffany.
Out there parading around with her sidekick Leoty, Mr. Clown Energy himself. They looked laid back, unbothered, living like life was just one long Instagram story. Leoty out there strolling around in them busted up slides like he was fresh off. Spring break in Daytona Beach. And Tiffany. She looked carefree, floating through the city like the legal system doesn't even apply to her zip code. Wild, right? Especially when you realize this is the same woman tangled up in what feels like 50 different legal battles. And don't forget, FBI eyes are all over Leoty. That messy St. Patrick's Day stunt, still on the table? That so-called youth program that never existed on paper but sure did suck up some money. Yeah, they're digging into that too. If you just caught them in public, smiling, vibing, acting like VIPs, you'd swear these two were winning the game. Reality check, though. Today wasn't about cocktails and selfies. Today was about court. And shout out to Carlton over at Go Political, because he's been on this story heavy. Man doesn't miss a beat. But I gotta send a bigger salute to my guy Kurt Marucci, the super server himself. 6 times, count M. 6, he's handed Tiffany those papers. And every single time, you already know she cringes when she sees him coming. But that's the beauty of Kurt. He stays on her like glue. He's the walking, breathing reminder that no matter how much she ducks, dodges, and hides, accountability is always waiting around the corner. And believe me, when the FBI finally closes that book and drops the sentence, Tiffany is going to learn what real supervision looks like. Full-time, no breaks, no last-minute getaways. Yet here she is, still moving like she's untouchable. Like, nobody can lay a hand on her. Like those so-called connections she used to brag about still carry weight. Newsflash, they don't. Those doors slammed shut a long time ago. Voters already sent her packing. Let's not forget the most humiliating stat of her career, a 95-5 split at the polls. Let that sink in. Statistically, every time she walks through Dalton, 9 people out of 10 want nothing to do with her. Savage. Imagine Tiffany walking into a grocery store with 100 people inside. 95 of them can't stand her, or picture her at the gas station. 9 out of 10, including the cashier, are wishing she'd just vanish. It's not just unpopularity, that's legendary rejection. And about Atlanta, word on the street, and again, I can't confirm this 100%, but people are whispering she's trying to buy a house down there. My question is simple. With what money? What bank is co-signing that deal? And if she even dares. To drop 3, 4, 500 grand in cash, the feds will bulldoze through that front door before the ink even dries. Let her try that $1 million house stunt. Watch how fast the headlines flip from former mayor spotted in Atlanta to former mayor arrested. There's no way she's pulling that off under the radar. At the end of the day, Tiffany Henyard might be infamous in Chicago, but let's be real, her notoriety has already crossed state lines. Down in Atlanta, she's practically a household name. Not for power, not for leadership, but for being the most infamous small-town mayor in America. And here's the kicker. This wasn't supposed to go national. This was just a tiny village story. 20,000 people. But all it took was one viral video, and suddenly she's global. Global for all the wrong reasons. Reckless, clueless, crooked. The trifecta of failure. Now before I move on, shout out again to Carlton for catching the footage Kurt was doing what he does best, but I'm not running the audio because my guy had music blasting in the background. Fire tracks, no lie. But copyright is no joke, and I'm not taking that demonetization strike. Still, respect to both of them for keeping receipts. Now, some folks were saying the court date was supposed to be tomorrow, but nah, from the looks of it, that thing already went down today. Carlton, you my guy. But don't mix up those dates. Because if Tiffany catches that slip, You already know her playbook. See Carlton lying on me again? Twist it, flip it, cry victim. We've all seen that act 100 times. But y'all think it's over? You think Tiffany's done? Nah, this is just chapter 1 of the downfall. Sure, she got voted out. That chapter's closed. She's no longer mayor, no longer township supervisor. The power stripped. But now she's just another regular loudmouth civilian, another ex-politician with no shield, no influence, no protection. Those so-called connections? Gone, dusted, history. And listen, I'm telling y'all right now, this thing could pop off any second. The streets are buzzing that Tiffany skipped yet another court date. Can't 100% confirm it yet. But let's be honest, would anybody blink if it turned out true? Of course not. It's just who she is. Hard-headed, reckless, acting like laws are just suggestions. So what's the next move? Same as always, when somebody keeps ducking court, you get that warrant, period. That's how the system works. No exceptions. If she really skipped out again, then the judge needs to stop playing and drop that arrest warrant ASAP. Enough is enough. Because Tiffany walks around like she's untouchable, like the pain she caused. Wrecking businesses, tearing up lives, stirring chaos doesn't matter. Like she can just strut off into the sunset without consequences. Wrong. That day is coming. She'd better walk into court on her own, because if not, trust me, they'll be dragging her in one way or another. And honestly, I hope they do. I hope the warrant drops and they roll up on her today. Cuffs, mugshot, the whole package. Because if anybody deserves it, it's Tiffany. I've been covering this saga for over a year, maybe closer to 2, and I'll say it plain, this story doesn't end until Tiffany's behind bars. That's the ending. That's justice. Yeah, maybe one day Netflix or Hulu will cook up a documentary about this circus. But don't get it twisted, Tiffany won't be on a red carpet, soaking up fame, cashing in with interviews or book deals. No, she'll be in a jumpsuit behind a locked door, watching the story play out on TV like the rest of us. Her legacy. That's where this road leads. So once again, big shout out to Kurt and props to Go Political for keeping eyes on the ground. We don't know yet if Tiffany showed up today, but trust, we'll find out real soon. And until then, you already know what to do. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stay locked in, because this ride isn't slowing down anytime soon.